Hello drone racers, today we're going to be taking a look at the new Eachine VR D2 Pro goggles. They are supposed to be an upgrade, but are they? Are they really? I have already reviewed the Eachine VR D2s, and these have been my primary goggles since I got them for months now because I really like them. They work out really well, they're comfortable for me. Everything I see is really good on them. The range has been good. I've been very, very happy with them. So I was super excited when the Pros were coming out because they have a frequency scanner in them, which I think is a humongous deal. However, due to some bad reviews they've gotten, I've actually stalled on posting this because I've been testing them for a while and wanted to get a really good sense of how they compared. Now, we're not going to do a full shootout yet. We're going to save that for another video because since these have come out, I've also posted the EV800D, which are very, very similar in functionality. And I want to see a shootout between all three sets of these. But for today, we're just going to focus on these, some of the pros and the cons. It's interesting, the case is exactly the same. Here we had the frequency and channel buttons, and you can tell they've just put a sticker on top of it. It's the exact same screen. It still has the screen here, the LED screen, but it doesn't do anything, which it would be nice if it still showed you the channels. Unfortunately, you have to go into the menu in order to see that. And on that note, the menu is not great. The menu is not even good. The menu is bad. No, I'm just gonna say, the menu is bad on this. So let's take a look at that. Before we look at that, one more pro. This has an external battery, which it's the same battery as the VRD2, which I think is great because you can order a spare for like $8. I ordered a couple of them. I keep them on the charger at all the time so I can just carry these with me, which I still think is the most convenient way to do it. And it goes on the back of your head, which I think gives these really good balance. From day one, you put these on, the very first time, they're really comfortable. They're light in the front, heavy in the back, gives a good balance. So I do still like the comfort of these a lot. So if you get these, just so you know, the first thing you do is when you plug in the battery, you go, oh my gosh, it's broken. I got a bad set. What's wrong with these? Oh, there they are. They do that every time. It just takes forever for the screen to boot with these, which is just long enough to make you freak out. So then it's there. So part of the great thing about it is it shows you right in the lower left-hand corner the voltage of your battery, the frequency that you're on, and then the signal strength of each of the antennas, which is really, really nice. I like that a lot. And one of the other great things about these is it's auto scan. So it will automatically scan for the strongest signal. All you have to do is push this button and it will just search. I'm gonna go ahead and plug something in so you can see that. Okay, so I have a quadcopter up. It's on a overlapping frequency, which is a problem, but now I'm gonna press that scan button. And what it will do, which is better on this than any other goggles I've seen, is it will scan through the entire frequencies that it can support. I think it supports 48 channels. I'm sure you have times where you're going through manually, you'll find a channel, you'll stop on it, but then once you take off, you realize you're not actually on the right channel, you're just on one that's close enough that you're able to pick up. Happens a lot with these smaller all-in-one units, but you're not necessarily on the right channel, so sometimes if you go through, 2 or 3 of them will pick up and you can't tell exactly which one you're on. You have to look at the lights on the radio. With this, when you press that button, it will check all the channels, and one of the things I like is you don't have to worry about being on the wrong one. So that does a really good job, and you can see that there you go, and you can see that in the corner. So sometimes you're out in the field and other people are flying and you need to figure out what channel you're on, and that's where these other buttons and menus come in. So if you have the menu button and the plus and negative button here that I'm going to use. So if I bring up the menu, I want to go down, which is plus, is a little weird, to the band scanner. So then I press menu again, go down to band scanner, and I'm going to run a band scanner. So now what it's going to do is scan through the whole frequency band and try every channel and figure out what is in use. So this is really nice if you're in the field and you're not sure what everybody else is on. You can just bring this out, run it, and say, hey, look, I can see what channels people are using, and pick one that's not overlapping. So that makes it really nice, and it shows me what the best channel is. It also shows the ranges. So I've got a couple ranges here. So this shows you the nice spikes on why you might pick up the video signal on 2 different frequencies, because I see a spike on different frequencies, and that happens with these cheap transmitters. It's just something that happens. It also shows you why you can't use 2 channels right next to each other, because we don't have one clean spike coming out of this. We actually have a range band that's in use. So you can see, even though I'm on one best frequency that it lists up there, I can't just use that one. I'm actually blasting out the adjacent frequencies. So then once it goes through, it'll run through it a couple times so you can see what's going on, and then you're done. Makes it really nice. So that's the good part. Now another downside. Say I want to manually pick what frequency I'm on. I have to go back into this menu, and the more I use it, part of the reason I didn't want to review this right away is I wanted to make sure I understood it. So if I go in here, a terrible part of these, it's almost a deal breaker on its own, is camera. Camera, I get to choose PAL, and see there I already messed it up. PAL or NTSC, and I have to choose manually. These will not auto sense and switch, which is a terrible pain in the butt. So I will pick it there, and on most of my cameras are PAL, but not all of them. Some of them are NTSC. So it's really annoying. The other thing is, if I want to manually pick a frequency, I go in here to page, so I have to look through each of these pages and each of these bands and figure out where it is I'm looking for, and until I find it, and then I click and I can go down to it, and there I picked it. So that's one I'm on now. But if I don't know which one I'm on, I just want to click through until I find the right one. It's really hard. I go in here, click through, click through, click through. Oh, nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. Okay, it's not on this one. That might be it. I'm not sure though. So I'll go through them all manually. It's a terrible pain in the butt. It's just not good at all. So that is where it is great that the scan works so well, and it does work really, really well. So it is nice, it does remember your settings. So I set mine to 4:3 because most of these cameras are 4:3. I actually prefer that even with the big screen. So I set it to that, and it has remembered it every time. So that's been good. You can control the diversity. I have mine set to auto, so it'll switch back and forth, but if for some reason you want to lock it in one or the other, you can also do that. It's supposed to help the battery life a little bit. So there's a quick overview of the menu, what I really like, what I don't. As I've gotten used to it, if it's your only goggles, the menu's not that bad. As long as the scan works for you every time and gets you exactly what you need, it's really convenient. You never have to go in there. But if you do have to go in there, it's where it's kind of a pain. So the next question is, how well do they fly? I'm going to show you some test flights, and it's hard to show in a case like this, but I can say the range of them is not good. The first time I tried them, I thought something was wrong, honestly. I didn't have good coverage. I thought I was flying in a new area the first time, so I thought, oh, well, maybe it's just not good in this location. And then I put even my old VR D2s on. It's like, no, I can actually see where I'm going. I was flying with someone else, and I started flying with my old goggles, and they were using these, and I kept asking them, how's it look? And they're like, I don't see anything. Where I was still flying, and I looked fine. So that, I think, is the big downside of these. Whatever they've done with the new upgraded receivers just doesn't work. The range on them is bad. It's really terrible. If you're flying in your backyard, it's fine, as long as you have a pretty small backyard. And the features that it comes with are really, really cool. So I'm going to go show a test flight just so you can see what the DVR looks like, but really coming very soon, now that I got this out of the way, we'll do a 3-way shootout to see. That's not coming today, but coming very, very soon. So in the moment, enjoy this flight. Hopefully I don't crash because I can't see while I'm flying with these. Okay, I've broken so many quads, I had to pull out the old Aurora 68. Not that it's that old, but a lot of people hated this quad. I really liked it. I did have to repair it once, but it still works just fine. I did change my mind. I'm going to be wearing a different set of goggles and recording with the upgrades, VR D2 Pro upgrades. And so we can see a comparison, but I don't want to fly somewhere that I'm going to lose video. But I don't want to be too restricted, so we're going to see how this goes. I'm still in stable mode here. The camera on this isn't great, so the recording quality probably isn't amazing. I'm going to do our typical standard strip here. Wow, the range on this thing is really good. At least, so there's past the trampoline. Here's where we normally have to turn around. I've got low RF signal, so I'm going to turn around. But I've still got good video with what I'm flying with. These are old Auroras, or old Amway receiver. Wow, come on. get back here, but with a really good antenna on it. So it's not totally a fair comparison, but I want to make sure I didn't lose any signal there. Going around the tree, I do have a little breakup with what I'm wearing, and I hit something. So here's what I want Eachine to do. I want them to take this and just turn it into a spectrum analyzer. Make it smaller, get rid of the goggles part of it. Just give me a screen and the spectrum analysis part. It doesn't even have to be diversity. Just give me one antenna, because that part is so nice. The channel scanner is so handy that even though outside I was just flying with a different set of goggles so I could not lose sight on these. Well, I haven't actually seen that yet. We'll see, have to see how that looks. But when I power on the quadcopter, I use these to figure out what channel it's on. Hitting the scan, it does such a good job, even way better than the EV800Ds. It does a great job at that. And then it shows me what frequency it's on. And then I go find that frequency on the other goggles that I'm actually going to use. I want that ability all the time. What I might end up doing, even though it seems really bizarre, is I might chop these up. I might actually like cut off this part and take away the goggle part, take away the Fresnel lens, so I can just see the screen and have access to that scanner all the times, kind of as a bench scanner. It'd be great if these had come apart, because then these would be perfect. I would recommend these for a lot of people. Just take them apart, never wear them as goggles. Just use the channel scanner, because it is that good in these. It's really exceptional. It's just the view on them isn't. Just the range on them is bad enough, at least for now, that I can't recommend them. I will say, if people had the VR D2 originals and had so many problems with them right out of the box, by the time I got them 4 months later probably, they were really good. I really like them, and they have been my main goggles for quite some time. Hopefully the same thing happens with these. Hopefully there's some kind of firmware that they say, oops, we had the power turned down and now they're better and they give longer range than everything else. I really hope that happens with these, because I'm getting used to the menu. It's bad. It's not that bad. It's just hard compared to the EV800Ds. The menu on that is so exceptionally good. So anyway, now on to the rest of the part that I already recorded. So if you found this useful, leave us a like and a comment down below with which of these goggles you think is going to win the shootout. And for the previous reviews, look here-ish for the VR D2 review that I did, and look over here for the EV800D review, right? EV800D, yeah. Watch this review, because those are probably going to be the ones I recommend. We'll wait for the shootout to be sure, but that's probably where it's going to be. Click here to subscribe, and over here somewhere, YouTube has decided what video is best for you. And until next time, remember, these are an upgrade.